Today is Monday, March 16th, 2026, and this is Read Through the Bible.
Yep, yesterday was a pretty rainy day.
Rainy, stormy, yeah, all of that, and wet, and so we are very thankful that we had siding back up on the side of our house.
Thank you again, Adam. Okay, so we're going to finish the book of Ezra today.
Right.
And as such, we're going to have this afternoon, then, we will have a short recap. We're going to do that less than 15 minutes easy with only 10 chapters of Ezra.
Yeah, we've been talking about micro-summaries anyway. So.
Yeah, well, we'll expand on that just a little bit, but just to kind of give, I would suspect maybe 5-7 minutes of just a recap of what Ezra is about. Mm-hmm. But we see that it's the returned exiles, and it's the process of reestablishing the altar and the temple and teaching the law. Zerubbabel built the temple,
and Ezra taught the law, and Nehemiah built the walls so they would safe.
Yep. So, and we will see that beginning tomorrow. But today we're going to read Ezra chapter 9 and chapter 10 and finish with the book of Ezra.
Right. So these two chapters are both about how the people there, the Jews in Jerusalem, had started marrying foreign wives again, and Ezra is appalled and,
to say the least,
and responds accordingly.
Yep.
Okay, here we go. Verse 1 of chapter 9. After these things had been done, the officials approached me, that would be Ezra, and said, "The people of Israel and the priests and the Levites have not separated themselves from the peoples of the lands with their abominations, from the Canaanites, the Hittites, the Perizzites, the Jebusites, the Ammonites, the Moabites, the Egyptians, and the Amorites. For they have taken some of their daughters to be wives for themselves and for their sons, so that the holy race has mixed itself with the peoples of the lands. And in this faithlessness, the hand of the officials and chief men has been foremost." So it's the leaders who are doing this. Verse 3, "As soon as I heard this, I tore my garment and my cloak and pulled hair from my head and beard and sat appalled."
That would hurt.
That would hurt a lot.
Yeah.
So I sat appalled.
Yeah. I think this pulling hair, just put that in the back of your mind. We'll hear that again in Nehemiah.
Yes. Verse 4, "Then all who trembled at the words of the God of Israel, because of the faithlessness of the returned exiles, gathered around me while I sat appalled until the evening sacrifice."
This is a big deal.
Yes.
Be so
he's just walking around with his mouth, with his jaw on the ground. Like, what?
Right.
Verse 5, "And at the evening sacrifice I rose from my fasting with my garment and my cloak torn, and fell upon my knees and spread out my hands to the Lord my God, saying,
'Oh my God, I am ashamed and blush to lift my face to you, my God, for our iniquities have risen higher than our heads, and our guilt has mounted up to the heavens. From the days of our fathers to this day, we have been in great guilt for our iniquities. We, our kings and our priests, have been given into the hand of the kings of the lands, to the sword, to captivity, to plundering, and to utter shame as it is today. But now for a brief moment, favor has been shown by the Lord our God to leave us a remnant, to give us a secure hold within this holy place, that our God may brighten our days and grant us a little reviving in our slavery. For we are slaves, yet our God has not forsaken us in our slavery, but has extended to us his steadfast love before the kings of Persia, to grant us some reviving, to set up the house of our God, to repair its ruins, and to give us protection in Judah and in Jerusalem.
And now, O our God, what shall we say after this? For we have forsaken your commandments, which you commanded by your servants the prophets, saying, the land that you are entering to take possession of it is a land impure with the impurity of the peoples of the lands, with their abominations that have filled it from end to end with their uncleanness. Therefore, do not give your daughters to their sons, neither take their daughters for your sons, and never seek their peace or prosperity, that you may be strong and eat the good of the land and leave it for an inheritance to your children forever. And after all that has come upon us for our evil deeds and for our great guilt, seeing that you, our God, have punished us less than our iniquities deserved, and have given us such a remnant as this, shall we break your commandments again and intermarry with the peoples who practice these abominations? Would you not be angry with us until you consumed us, so that there should be no remnant nor any to escape? O Lord, the God of Israel, you are just. For we are left a remnant that has escaped, as it is today. Behold, we are before you in our guilt, for none can stand before you because of this.
Okay, so in chapter 9, Ezra is told that Levites have intermarried with the people, and he's appalled and confesses their sin to the Lord.
Yeah.
In chapter 10, we're going to see it take action.
Right. And I think, like in verse 12, he repeats the commandment to not intermarry, and then is praying and remembering that they've gone through all this punishment of the exile because of their mixing with the other cultures of the other nations. And why would the people do that again?
Yeah, and this goes back even to Moses. I mean, when Moses in the law told the people not to intermarry. And this goes back to why even the Samaritans are such a stench to the Jews, because they're the people who've intermarried with the Assyrians who came in the northern kingdom. And now to see Judah in the south doing this is a big deal. And they're going to take some drastic actions here in chapter 10.
Well, and I think there's a couple things here, too, of just God wants his people to be holy and separate. And also verse 13, I think, is really, really powerful, where Ezra prays, God, you have punished us less than our iniquities deserved. Yeah. And how can we break your commandments again? You should be angry with us for this.
Yep. Okay, chapter 10, verse 1. While Ezra prayed and made confession, weeping and casting himself down before the house of God, a very great assembly of men, women, and children gathered to him out of Israel, for the people wept bitterly. That is not just Ezra, it's the people coming to repentance.
That's a humble response.
And Shechaniah, the son of Jehiel, of the sons of Elam, addressed Ezra. We have broken faith with our God, and have married foreign women from the peoples of the land. But even now there is hope for Israel in spite of this. Therefore, let us make a covenant with our God to put away all these wives and their children, according to the counsel of my Lord, and of those who tremble at the commandment of our God, and let it be done according to the law. Arise, for it is your task, and we are with you. Be strong and do it. Then Ezra arose and made the leading priests and the Levites and all Israel take an oath that they would do as had been said. So they took an oath.
Then Ezra withdrew from before the house of God.
I think you got to catch what's going on here, is that they basically said that we are going to we'll divorce our wives.
Yeah.
And abandon our kids. I mean,
like verse 3, make a covenant with God to put away all these wives and their children. Yeah,
so this chapter is like a hard chapter. I think the key is to lean into it, though, and if you don't understand, it's because you don't understand Jewish culture. You don't understand just the weight of not intermarrying, going back even to Moses, and just the command to be a pure people, and so they have transgressed that. So it's all of that kind of linked, because it made perfect sense to them. Mm-hmm. But to us today, this just sounds like awful. Like if you've married someone, no, you're married and you be committed, but yet here is just the guilt of what they did, and to even keep a pure people, this is what they need to do.
Yeah. Verse 6. Then Ezra withdrew from before the house of God and went to the chamber of Jehohanan, the son of Eliashib, where he spent the night, neither eating bread nor drinking water, for he was mourning over the faithlessness of the exiles. And a proclamation was made throughout Judah and Jerusalem to all the returned exiles that they should assemble at Jerusalem, and that if anyone did not come within 3 days, by order of the officials and the elders, all his property should be forfeited, and he himself banned from the congregation of the exiles.
And what's helpful, this is a theophany. I mean, this is the people of God. This is a nation who are committing to follow the ways of God. Like, you can't really do this in a church, but you can do this with a nation. Mm-hmm. Then all the men of Judah and Benjamin assembled at Jerusalem within 3 days. It was the 9th month, on the 20th day of the month. And all the people sat in the open square before the house of God, trembling because of this matter and because of the heavy rain, like there was yesterday. And Ezra the priest stood up and said to them, "You have broken faith and married foreign women, and so increased the guilt of Israel." I'm just
looking back at verse 9. So they trembled because of the matter and because of the rain. Yeah. So they were like shivering.
Yeah, that's right.
So sorry.
Verse 11, "Now then, make confession to the Lord, the God of your fathers, and do his will. Separate yourselves from the peoples of the land and from the foreign wives, Then all the assembly answered with a loud voice, "It is so, we must do as you have said. But the people are many, and it is a time of heavy rain. We cannot stand in the open, nor is this a task for 1 day or for 2, for we have greatly transgressed in this matter. Let our officials stand for the whole assembly. Let our cities who have taken foreign wives come at the appointed time, and with them the elders and judges of every city, until the fierce wrath of our God over this matter is turned away from us." Only Jonathan, the son of Asahel, and Jazaniah, the son of Tikva, opposed this. So he had 2 in opposition. And Meshullam and Shabbathai, the Levite, supported them.
Then the returned exiles did so. Ezra the priest selected men, heads of fathers' houses, according to their fathers' houses, each of them designated by name. On the first day of the 10th month, they sat down to examine the matter. And by the first day of the first month, they had come to the end of all the men who had married foreign women.
Now there were found some of the sons of the priests who had married foreign women. And this would be especially bad. These are the priests, the holy men, who know better. Here's a list. Messiah, Eleazar, Jarib, and Gedaliah, some of the sons of Jeshua, the sons of Jozadak and his brothers. They pledged themselves to put away their wives, and their guilt offering was a ram of the flock for their guilt. Of the sons of Immer, Hanani, and Zebediah. Of the sons of Harim, Messiah, Elijah, Shemaiah, Jehiel, and Uzziah. Of the sons of Pashur, Elionai, Messiah, Ishmael, Nethanel, Jozabad, and Elisha.
Of the Levites, Jozabad, Shimi, Kaliah, that is, Kelita, Pethahiah, Judah, and Eleazar. Of the singers, Eliashib. Of the gatekeepers, Shallum, Telem, and Uri.
And of Israel, of the sons of Parash, Remiah, Isaiah, Malchijah, Mijamin, Eleazar, Hashabiah, and Benaiah. Of the sons of Elam, Mattaniah, Zechariah, Jehiel, Abdi, Jeremoth, and Elijah. Of the sons of Zatu, Elionai, Eliashib, Mattaniah, Jeremoth, Zabad, and Aziza. Of the sons of Babai were Jehonahan, Hananiah, Zabai, and Athlai. Of the sons of Bani were Meshullam, Maluk, Adiah, Jashub, Sheol, and Jeremoth. Of the sons of Pahath Moab, Adnah, Chelal, Benaiah, Maaseiah, Mattaniah, Bezalel, Binui, and Manasseh. Of the sons of Harim, Eleazar, Ishijah, Malchijah, Shemaiah, Shimeon, Benjamin, Maluk, and Shemariah. Of the sons of Hashum, Mattaniah, Mattata, Zabad, Eliphat, Jeremiah, Manasseh, and Shimi. Of the sons of Bani, Madai, Amram, Uel, Benaiah, Bediah, Cheluhi, Benaiah, Meremoth, Eliashib, Mattaniah, Mattanai, Jashu. Of the sons of Binui, Shemi, Shelemiah, Nathan, Adiah, Machanadabai, Shashai, Sharai, Azriel, Shelemiah, Shemariah, Shallum, Amariah, and Joseph. Of the sons of Nebo, Jeiel, Mattaniah, Zabed, Zabina, Jedi, Joel, and Benaiah. All these had married foreign women, and some of the women had even borne children. I think sometimes, it's an honor to have your name in the Bible.
Right.
Not so
not
in
this
this
list.
case. Just demonstrates that you have sinned. But they were repentant, and they then purged their country, so they'd be a pure country once again. Okay, and so we will see you this afternoon with a summary of Ezra. Okay,
All right.
bye-bye.
Goodbye.